What's going on, guys? There's been a lot of speculation lately about whether or not the Vancouver Canucks are going to trade Quinn Hughes. If you didn't know, they're currently sitting second last place in the Pacific Division, so obviously an underwhelming start to the season. Quinn Hughes has said before that he wants to be on a contender. Right now, the Canucks are not really looking like that, and kind of the big spark for this rumor was a couple days ago, Gary Mason tweeting, when the trade of Quinn Hughes happens, and right now it seems inevitable, it will mark the lowest point in the franchise's history, giving up a generational talent in his prime. Can't be viewed any other way. And I mean, I have to agree with him. Quinn Hughes is a generational defenseman. It really hurts me as a Red Wing fan that we passed on him to draft Zadina. He is arguably the best defenseman in the league right now. It's either him or Carr. No one else is an option. I think all time he could definitely go down as like a top 25, maybe even top 20, top 15 defenseman, depending kind of what trajectory his career takes over the next 8 years. And obviously for him to end up being that good, he's going to have to play on a contending team. And right now, both of his brothers, Jack and Luke, do play on a contending team in the New Jersey Devils. And Jim Rutherford said before how he knows Quinn Hughes wants to play with his brothers.
And it may not boil down to money with him. You know, he said before he wants to play with his brothers. That would be partly out of our control, in our control, if we brought his brothers here. We will do everything we can to keep him here, but at the end of the day, it'll be his decision.
Obviously, there's two options there. Either they trade for both Jack and Luke, or the more likely option, Quinn goes and joins his brothers. Now, you could do that one of two ways. Either they could trade him to New Jersey, or they could trade him somewhere else, and once he becomes a free agent, he could then sign with the Devils. And I think that's probably what's going to happen here, as if this trade does happen, Quinn Hughes still has 2 years left on his deal. That is the rest of this year, plus next year. So the chances that, you know, the Devils are the team that gives them the best offer, probably unlikely, especially when they know they can just get him for free if they wait until the summer of 2027 once his contract expired. But obviously I feel like the Canucks can still get a really good return. And so like I was saying, guys, next we're going to see what the Vancouver Canucks should trade Quinn Hughes for. Originally I was hoping to do fine trade with this. Unfortunately, when he's under contract, he has the max value, simply can't get a trade. And I actually tried simulating all the way to the draft where I thought it'd have more realistic trade value. Unfortunately, as you guys can see, it was actually like unrealistic the other way. We're not getting offered enough. So the one thing I'm going to do instead is actually just go through and see like what we could get back from each team as the Canucks. Starting off here with the Anaheim Ducks, as always, they are interested in Quinn Hughes. They also have cap space. Luckily, he doesn't really have that much. Leo Carlsson's popping off right now. I mean, I'm sure the Canucks would love to have him back. If they get him plus Mintyukov, I mean, honestly, like they'd probably do Carlsson, Mintyukov in a first. Value looks pretty equal. I had the difficulty set to medium. I think that'll be good for like this way because we are probably usually going to be losing value on the deal. Make it a bit more realistic. All 3 guys off the block. And the Ducks say yes, so maybe it could have gotten even more. We'll keep going through and see. And now next you guys trying to trade half with the Boston Bruins. It's going to be tough as most of their players are under contract. We could get back James Higgins. After that, Zaka would come to our team. They definitely want a defenseman. Zadorov we can't take back. Mason Lohrei is not that bad. They have Demko. You don't really need Swayman. Let's see this. Higgins, Zaka, Lohrei, 2 firsts. I mean, that actually does give them, you know, a decent forward right now, forward for the future, a decent defenseman, of course, the first round picks. And right now, the least one actually could be a lottery pick. Just adding those 2 guys to the roster spots. I think Bruins say yes. And yeah, they do. So basically, it seems with Quinn Hughes' value, we can basically have whoever we want on most of these teams. And now looking at Buffalo here, guys, you know, Dahlin 1-for-1 would be interesting. Maybe they go for like Tage Thompson, Owen Power. Again, we probably can get, you know, more from these teams than we're currently doing. But, I mean, this would actually put the Canucks over the max salary cap. So we'll add Philip Hiddle there, as you can see. Now, the value is still way on our side. So, like, would the Buffalo Sabres give us their best forward, their second best defenseman, and 3 firsts for Quinn Hughes and Hiddle? Wow. Okay, so yeah, I think we're going to basically try and be more realistic here with the trades because the game's letting us have whoever we want. So like I was saying, guys, I'm going to try and make these trades a bit more realistic. You have to remember, too, like Quinn Hughes isn't a straight rental. You are getting 2 years of him before he, you know, probably leaves for the Devils. So that's 2 chances at a Stanley Cup for any contending team. Calgary is not a contending team. Honestly, no offense to the Flames. We're skipping them. There's just no chance they trade for Quinn Hughes. The Carolina Hurricanes here. Jarvis, I mean, that'd be a lot to give up. Stankoven on the move again. Nikishin I could definitely see. So, I mean, if you're the Canucks, you want Stankoven, you want Nikishin, and then you probably ask for 3 first-rounders, which, I mean, again, not a terrible return. Do you get Jarvis back if it's 2 years? They probably say no to Jarvis, but, like, this is a pretty good haul. And yeah, the Carolina Hurricanes say yes. And next year, guys, we got the Chicago Blackhawks surprisingly doing, you know, not too bad this year. They're not going to be moving Connor Bedard if they're trying to make a trade for Quinn Hughes. Levshunov, I mean, maybe if they actually think they can somehow sign Quinn. Quinn Hughes is better than Levshunov. Korchinski does not have near the value. Frank Nazar, you probably have to move on from, along with Levshinov, unless the Canucks are like super high on him. Maybe Anton Frondel, honestly. What about Levshinov, Frondel? Again, Quinn Hughes is way better than Levshinov. Frondel could be a beast, but you're getting back Quinn Hughes, and they give him a couple of first-round picks. Let me know, guys, Chicago fans, would you give all this up to get Quinn? Now, this one's kind of funny, guys. Imagine the Avs somehow pulled off a trade for Quinn. Him and Makar would be potentially like the best D pair ever. All they could really do is Natchez for trade value guys. Would Vancouver trade Hughes for Natchez 1-for-1? I don't know. Modified no trades. This one doesn't really have a lot here. There's really no good defensive prospects. They don't even have first round picks. I think we'll honestly skip the Avs. Like, they have Makar. I just don't see it happening. Columbus here. Potentially like Renski, but he's actually got a no move. So Adam Fantilli, you could send back the other way. Maybe, I mean, what would they give up? You have Renski who's not leaving. So you can't give up too many forwards. Maybe like a Matachuk. I mean, if I'm the Canucks, I'm probably asking for like Fantilli and Johnson plus Matachuk and their first. And actually, guys, before I try that trade, I'm turning the trade difficulty up to hard. I'm not sure if it's going to affect it too much, but I noticed that one, the bar was actually equal. Now, it still probably doesn't matter as the game always values like the superstar a lot more. And yeah, it still goes through. Now, look at the Dallas Stars here, guys. I mean, I'm trying to think, like, what would they do? Haskins got a no move. Thomas Harley, they just extended, but I mean, Quinn Hughes probably going to make, what, $15 to $17 million, maybe more. I don't think he could honestly cash in for $20 million potentially. You could even go Jason Robertson instead of Harley, just because he's also like on expiring deals, so maybe he leaves. Harley and Johnston. Vancouver would be over the max salary cap. You could do Harley and Robertson, though. I mean, Vancouver would love this. I mean, this trade would definitely rebuild their team. Dallas would absolutely hate this one, and even on hard difficulty, the value is actually still on our side. And now next year, guys, are going to try and trade the Detroit Red Wings. This is actually like kind of plausible, just because, of course, he's from Michigan, played for Michigan Wolverines. I mean, to get Quinn Hughes, you're not giving up Sider. I actually did see some rumor. I think it was like Sandin Pellikka, I want to say Danielson, and then probably like 2 first-round picks, honestly, to get Quinn Hughes. Would you do this if you're Detroit? I think you do this 9 times out of 10. Even if you only have him, like I said, the rest of this year and next year, he actually makes us like a contender, which we are not. We haven't made the playoffs in so long. If I, got this offer, I'm sure some Red Wings fans would say no just because of Sandin Pellikka and he has a really good ceiling. But if you're being like realistic, is his ceiling Quinn Hughes? Probably not. And if there's any team that he would sign with other than New Jersey, I feel like Detroit, there's actually like a decent chance. And I'm sure Yzerman's going to say yes to this, and he does. And now next year, guys, we got the Edmonton Oilers. I'm not going to even offer this one because I know for sure it'll go through, but I'm just kind of putting it out there for Oilers fans. Would you do Hughes for Bouchard 1-for-1? I feel like for the Canucks, if you think you're going to lose Hughes, you're trying to rebuild. Bouchard's still, pretty young, 25 years old. Obviously, offensively, not a huge downgrade. Defensively, Hughes is a lot better. And then for the Oilers, Hughes has 2 years left. McDavid has 3 years left. If you don't win the Stanley Cup in the next 3 years, McDavid's leaving. So Quinn Hughes gives you a better chance to do that than Evan Bouchard. I feel like this trade could maybe actually kind of work. You can see the value there. Quinn Hughes is maxed out. Bouchard is not even half. So they would say yes to that one. Florida here, another team might not even... All their top guys have no move clauses. So yeah, there's literally nothing here that's going to work for Florida Panthers. LA Kings, maybe something. Brant Clark, I think, would definitely be a guy. Maybe Brant Clark, Quentin Byfield. If the Kings do this, they really think they're competing right now. They're giving up 2 young studs. Throw in the first-round pick there for good measure. I mean, yeah, I think we know Vancouver here. I think we know Kings are going to say yes. We can even throw in a second first-round pick there just to really make them pay the price, and they still say yes. And now next year, guys, to Minnesota Wild. I mean, the Canucks would probably want back Brock Faber again. Jim Rutherford said how he's trying to get younger. Faber there's 23 years old. They'd probably also want back Matt Boldy. I mean, Wild probably wouldn't want to do that. You could do like Faber, Rossi. The Canucks center depth's not the greatest. You could also even go Bouillon instead of Faber if they wanted to get really young. Even Boldy and Bouillon here with, say, like a first-round pick. The value is still on our side. And again, we know Quinn has the more value. So I probably don't have to keep clicking A. It does take a way more time for me to have to restart it every single time. Montreal here. I mean, they would be so interesting. They wouldn't want to move Lane Hudson, but that's who you'd have to move. I guess you could move Dobson, right? I guess if they want to keep, like, you know, the homegrown talent, you could flip Dobson, who they actually got, I thought, for a really good price. You'd have to throw someone else in here. Slavkovsky, maybe you throw in. That's a ton of money, though. Hudson doesn't start to get paid till the year after. I mean, Slavkovsky would probably be the guy. You're not going to move Suzuki. You're not going to move Caulfield. Demidov, they're not going to move. Same with Hudson. I think it'd be like Dobson and Slavkovsky. And then if they wanted, I guess you could throw in a first. And now for the salary, I've added Hiddle and Forbert. So, I mean, Canucks here, you get back Dobson, who's still really good, and Slavkovsky in a first. Again, the value here is going to be so interesting. As not a complete rental, we're only getting the guy for like the last month and a half of the regular season after the deadline, and then whatever playoff run you go on, you're getting him for like, you know, a couple years, and you always could maybe convince him to stay, but there's a good chance he doesn't. So, yeah, gauging the value in terms of real life, like, it's going to be so interesting to see what they get if they do trade him. And now next year, guys, got the Nashville Predators. Honestly, it's another team like the Flames where I don't know if they have anything. Yeah, their top 5 guys are all no move clauses. Brady Martin, the Canucks would want. Him alone, though, I think we saw the other trade packages we were putting together, is not enough. They have, you know, Demko. They don't need Saros. The first rounder could be nice. The thing is, like, if it ends up being 7th, I don't think they really care, right? If it was, you know, top 1 or 2. If you're getting McKenna or Bearhoff, then obviously a different story. But yeah, Nashville there doesn't make sense. The team that would actually pay the most to get him, the New Jersey Devils. Kind of surprising they actually do want him when they actually have almost too many defensemen. We'll sort here by rating. But you got Dougie Hamilton, Pesci, Siegenthaler, Luke Hughes, Dylan, Kovacevic, Nemeth, who's playing really well right now. Seamus Casey's not that bad. So, seeing some different mock-ups. You know, common consensus here seems to be Dougie Hamilton along with Simon Nemeth. Hamilton obviously comes in, plays well. Nemeth, you know, is kind of their guy for the future. Now, Hamilton actually would have to potentially waive. He's got a 22 team no trade. I took it off so we could do this. And then Nemeth, of course, going to keep getting better. This could be a realistic trade, and like I said too, and maybe if the Canucks play hardball, they can also squeak out like a first round pick or something, but I'm curious to see. So Devils say yes. I want to see what they actually do with the roster once you have Quinn. As Raiders look at the Devils lines, guys, after adding Quinn Hughes, obviously the forward group isn't changed. They definitely need to upgrade on Palat though. Second line left wing, bottom 6 there even, could be better. Now defensively, okay, so they go with Quinn and Luke on the second pair instead of the top pair where they have Pesci and Siegenthaler. I feel like if you just flip those two, then of course Kovacevic, Dylan on the bottom pair, that is an amazing defensive core, probably the best defense in the league. So you have Markstrom and Net, who's kind of been shaky so far this year, but that defense definitely makes up for your offense, especially when, you know, Quinn and Luke are so good offensively, and they can just find somebody to go in the top 6 instead of Andre Palat. That would definitely be a contender if Jack here could actually find a way to stay healthy now that Quinn's on the team. And next year, guys, look at the New York Islanders. Obviously, they just drafted Matthew Schaefer. So assuming they don't want to give up on their first overall pick, I wouldn't. I mean, Barzell, you know, kind of the core piece there. What do you give up if you're the Islanders? I guess Cole Yzerman, Alexander Romanov. Pelech here, modified no trade, won't go to the Canucks. I mean, Barzell, we also can't even ask for. He's from Vancouver. He definitely would go there. I mean, yeah, so whatever we asked for, like all these first, Romanov, Yzerman, they'll definitely say yes. Now the Rangers here, Fox, no trade. Fox, Panarin, JT Miller, no moves. Obviously, Miller's not coming back. Trocheck would go there. I mean, they need a center. I think they would definitely love to try and, you know, take him on, see if he can become something else. Now, if they want a defenseman back, Braden Schneider there as well. Do like 2 first rounders. You take the Rangers ones. They've been underperforming for sure. And I'm adding Forbert and O'Connor to this trade. I mean, this would be a haul. The Rangers obviously like to make big splashes. Canucks get back top 6 center, top 6 winger, top 4 defenseman, 2 first. We've seen better returns, but that's still pretty solid. Now this one could be interesting, guys. Quinn Hughes here going to the Ottawa Senators. So I was wondering, Thomas Chabot would waive to go to the Canucks. He'd probably be the guy that could be going back because I already have Jake Sanderson. You bring in Quinn Hughes, you don't need both those guys. Although, I mean, if I'm the Canucks, I probably don't want a 20-year-old Thomas Chabot if I'm trying to get younger. I definitely want Sanderson. Stützle's there as well. Yakimchuk too, if they really want to get young. So maybe Ottawa says no to Sanderson, but they would do Yakimchuk there and Chabot. Obviously, Quinn Hughes, big upgrade on Chabot, and then you get Yakimchuk there to keep getting younger. Timmy Stützle we could add, but I just don't think they would do it. I mentioned how Rutherford wants to get younger, so maybe they would also get back, you know, one of Cousins, Greg, Pinto. Maybe Ridley Gregg's the guy to get back, and then, of course, you know, you're looking for, I guess, 2026 first, they actually don't have in real life. I feel like this here, guys, is a kind of realistic trade. It's definitely like an overpayment, but based on the other trades we've done, more realistic. Now, I am curious, before we do this one, would they do Timmy Stützle? Vancouver there would be over the league maximum salary cap. So just out of curiosity, you're going to try Stützle there instead of Shabbat. Again, I think Shabbat would be, kind of realistic. This one's definitely not, but we'll see if the Sens still say yes. And they would. Wow, okay. So, yeah, that just tells you this game, like, how valuable, like, Quinn Hughes there is. It's pretty crazy. Like, basically these teams, even on hard difficulty, are willing to give up, their entire core. And now next year, guys, look at the Philadelphia Flyers. I feel like if I'm the Canucks, I mean, Porter Martone is nice. I'm definitely asking for Michkov. I think they say no, though. Like, obviously, he's, the core of their team now. Porter Martone, though, maybe if they actually are somehow in a playoff spot. He's currently playing in college. Cam York, I think you'd probably want to take back. He's a 24-year-old defenseman, so obviously, a younger guy. Trying to get young there. Maybe Luchenko plus 2 first-round picks. Is this enough? Again, compared to like that first deal I think we did, where we could have even added more to the Canucks trade, but they got back, what was it, Carlson, Mintyukov, and Seneca or Gauthier. Like, that was crazy. This one's still huge return. And now next you guys look at the Pittsburgh Penguins. I don't even know what they could trade. Like, the Canucks obviously aren't getting Crosby. He's got the NMC. Same with Carlson, Malakin Letang. Rust, Raquel, don't even make you trade him. Benjamin Kindle there is not bad, but I mean, and they're actually doing kind of okay to start this year, which I'm really surprised by. So their first isn't worth that much. I don't think Penguins there can make a trade, honestly. Now, the San Jose Sharks definitely could. You're not giving up Mac and Celebrini. You're probably not trading his buddy there in Smith. Eklund or Misa, maybe they move. Obviously, they did just get Misa. I would definitely move one of these guys if I'm them to get Quinn Hughes. I think defense is actually kind of their worst position right now. You do have Dickinson coming, but if they say we want, Sam Dickinson and Michael Misa for Quinn Hughes, the Canucks there get 2 young studs, and the San Jose Sharks all of a sudden actually legit with Quinn Hughes leading this defensive core. This one would definitely be an interesting one. Maybe they throw in like their pick and even the Oilers pick there in this year's draft. So I mean, again, I'm sure the Sharks here say yes. They do. Canucks fans, again, like, you're getting Hall for Quinn Hughes. It's basically, which one do you like best? And now next up, guys, we got the Seattle Kraken. So this one's kind of interesting. If they do want a defenseman back, Dunn there's a modified no trade. He wouldn't go to the Canucks. Montour's got the no trade clause. So you're not really getting defenseman back. They do have 3 good young players there, Wright, Beniers, and Catton. I don't know. Berkeley Catton alone, does it get it done based on the other trades? I don't think so. They could do, like, Catton, Wright, I don't know, and like their next 3 first-round picks. I feel like this one, Shane Wright hasn't proven a ton, so you're basically getting Berkeley Catton back plus some lottery picks. Obviously, the Kraken are going to say yes to this one. That is definitely one of the weaker trades. It's probably better than like Pittsburgh could have done, though. St. Louis here will take a look. So their best players, Thomas, Kyrou, Parayko, Buchnevich, all no trade clauses. Then you have Holloway, Shen there, could go, but again, Rutherford said he wants young guys. 34, 33, 33. So you got Jake Neighbors there. Dvorsky's not bad. Jimmy Snuggerud's also, pretty good coming along. Again, compared to the other offers, this one's not great. You're looking at like Snuggerud, Dvorsky, maybe Neighbors, and a couple first-round picks. I just don't think the Canucks would go this way. The Lightning here, so Kucherov actually would waive to go to Vancouver. Interesting. 22-team no trade. I mean, if I'm the Lightning, I don't think I'm trading Kucherov, even though he's 32 years old. Brandon Hagel there you'd have to move with a bunch of other stuff. But just for fun, we'll see if the Lightning would do this. I don't think they would, but this is like the closest one where there's actually a superstar that would waive here. And yeah, rejected. They said just a bit low. The first trade rejected. The Lightning would want more than Quinn Hughes there for Kucherov, even though he's got less value. Of course, as I mentioned, the difficulty there is on hard. So yeah, guys, I just don't think the Lightning trade will work, as Hagel with a bunch of late firsts is nowhere near valuable enough for Hughes. Now the Leafs here, kind of the same thing. All the top guys there, no move clauses. Matthew Nyes, the Canucks would love. 85 overall, he's 22. They'd be all over him. Now, what would they want with them? They'd probably take back Easton Cowan. Offensively, the Leafs actually have like nobody that's really young. So I mean, if I'm the Canucks, Leafs don't even have their first round pick the next. I didn't realize they don't have first till 2028. Ooh, I mean, if the Leafs offer Nyes, Cowan, a couple firsts, Nyes is really good. Like they might do something like that, but again, you can see it went through there. As I've been mentioning, they definitely could get better. Utah's an interesting one for sure. Sergeyev's got a no trade, but I mean Cooley, Keller as well, but you got Cooley there, Gunther. I mean, maybe they just go all out. Again, Denoye aren't on the roster right now. What if they just sent both those dudes with their first round pick? We actually have to take another skater back from Utah because they're both in the CHL. So you can see the values on our side. Utah definitely does this. And honestly, for Vancouver, like you get 2 young studs to build your team around for the future. Again, that's not that bad either. Now, Vegas Golden Knights here probably can't make a trade. Let's take a look as look at that rainbow. Yeah. I mean, Hurdle's the first one. He wouldn't even waive. Barbashev would. Basically no value. Yeah, and then draft picks. They don't have a first, like the Leafs. They do have a 2027 first. So Vegas could offer up Barbashev and a 2027 first. It's just, yeah, not going to happen. So all of a sudden, you got a couple teams left here. The Capitals. I mean, the Capitals, if they're willing to move on from Ryan Leonard, which this is basically, Ovi tells them he's going back to the KHL after this season. They want one more run at it. Obviously, Hughes is going to help you out a lot more than Leonard. So maybe they do Leonard, Cole Hudson as well. So they get, a young defenseman for the future. They get Ryan Leonard, who's, young but already in the NHL. And they give them like 2 first-round picks. They say, we want to win Ovi one more Stanley Cup. This would obviously mortgage the future big time, but the Capitals all of a sudden are a true contender with Quinn Hughes on the team. And of course, they do say yes. And now lastly here, guys, you have the Winnipeg Jets. So Kyle Connor would actually go. That would be interesting. Josh Morrissey, he would make a ton of sense. He would go there. Obviously, not as good as Quinn Hughes. So what if you got Morrissey back? You could actually still contend if you could say Morrissey. Perfetti's not a bad player. Morrissey, Perfetti, 2 firsts. Real life, I feel like it'd be Morrissey, Perfetti, 1 first. That would be more than enough. Would they do the 2 firsts, Morrissey, Perfetti? And they do. I mean, Canucks fans, that's not that bad, and you actually stay competitive. But that's gonna do it, guys, for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section down below which of these trades you thought was the most realistic, one you could actually see the Canucks getting in return for Quinn Hughes.